The Horus Heresy trailer dropped last week and it was incredible. It played out on a scale much grander to anything we've seen before, and it was absolutely fantastic to see all these characters of legend brought to life. Inevitably, there have been lots of calls to make an animation in the same style, and while I have to agree, the Exodite has shown that you can't just throw fancy visuals on something and have it become an automatic hit. They'd also have to get characterization, voice acting, and facial animation spot on. There'd be a lot more pressure with the Horus Heresy series as well, because everyone has their own expectations. I've got in my head what Loken should sound like. I think the Lion should be stomping about all grumpy all the time, and Sanguinius would probably be checking his reflection all the time. If he even has a reflection. I'm not too sure on that one. I mentioned the Exodite there, and not surprisingly, the overall feeling in the chat from last week's video was that it would be a major disappointment if it turns out to be only 3 episodes. I think most people thought it was going somewhere and it was building to something, when it looks quite likely that it'll end prematurely. If it does turn out to be a short one, I hope it can pave the way for something spectacular like a Horus Heresy series. One of my gripes for Warhammer Plus would be that although we've had great animations, we've had lots of cool little stories told across the whole universe, we haven't had anything recognisable yet. We haven't had a big moment in time or a big battle that we would actually recognise, so I think that would be a great step to take. I'd love to see a battle or a historical moment such as the Council of Nicaea. That would be absolutely brilliant for me. Just for a bit of fun, which 3 battles across the whole universe that could be Horus Heresy all the way up to Warhammer 40k would you choose to have animated? For me, I think it would be Istvan, obviously, both Istvans, Prospero and maybe Calth. I was going to say the Siege of Terra, but that could be a couple of seasons on its own. It's great to dream, but these trailers, the Horus Heresy one and also the Space Marine 2 trailer, have shown us that we could have top-notch animation. It is not a million miles away. We saw the second trailer for the Interrogator as well, and I must admit I am interested in this one. I love the whole Inquisition world. I think the story will have to be really good because the visuals, to me anyway, I don't think the visuals will carry it, so it'll have to be the story. It looks very hammer and boltery to me. Inquisitors are just cool though, so it does have the potential to be extremely interesting and enlightening. I think with the style choices, it might take away a wee bit from it because there will be no subtlety and no emotion in the faces, so I think that's something that has to be dealt with. I would have loved to see this fully rendered in 3D so that we could see textures and emotions, but my only thought is maybe they thought they would be stepping too heavily on the toes of the Eisenhorn Live series. I just don't know. On to the reviews, and I would say that Warhammer Vault has the best, most suitable book for it yet. It's Visions of Heresy, it's 465 pages long, it's got a ton of lore in there, it hasn't cut out any rules because there weren't any rules in the first place, and the imagery in it is absolutely beautiful. It'll be such a good read. It's perfectly timed as well because all the Horus Heresy stuff's spinning up at the moment, so I think a lot of people will be looking for inspiration for their forces, so it's a well done from me. It's a really good book to release at this time. There's only one White Dwarf, which I'll forgive because of the awesomeness of the book. Lore Masters was once again extremely interesting. This time it was all about the Inquisition. I do feel that we were fed false information though. Wade, at the very start of it, says that the Inquisition is a flat structure. So it's like every Inquisitor is on the same level. But from Eisenhorn, I know that there's Lord Inquisitor Rorken, who is head of the Helican subsector. So Eisenhorn kind of reports to him, so I know it's not a flat structure. So what's the deal here? Are we being fed misinformation? Is this some inquisitorial plot? We just don't know. It's got a great section on the minor ordos as well, so it's a really good watch all in all. Really enjoyed this one. I read a lot of comments that say that other lore channels will have done this better, but I still really enjoyed this one, so it's possible to enjoy both, I suppose. Masterclass was perfectly timed for people picking up the Eldar Avatar this weekend, and this was a great episode. It's the first time that I've felt that Aidan Daly has really brought his skills to the table. It's what I thought Masterclass would be when it was first announced. They're going through the painting of the Avatar from start to finish. This is part 1, and it was 33 minutes, and the model that they're painting looks absolutely spectacular. I feel that if these longer videos are regularly combined with the shorter format stuff, then we'll be on to an absolute winner. I was enthralled by this start to finish. I loved seeing the miniature come to life. It's full of techniques that I will be using on my own avatar, because spoiler alert, I'm getting the avatar at the weekend, and I think I'm going to paint him on video as well. I've said that quite a lot, but I really want to paint this avatar. We finally got to see Aidan take his time and paint something heavy metal worthy, and I think this is what the Painting a Space Marine video should have been. We should have got to see a Space Marine painted to this standard, and it would have been absolutely amazing. But as it is, this video is what I want to see. I want to see a lot more of this. They should do one of these for every big release that they have. So even though we didn't get an animation this week, I still felt that we got quite a lot. We could have really done with a battle report, of course. It's always a miss when we don't get one. But what we did get was really high quality, and I loved the change of direction for Masterclass. It's what I've been really wanting from this ever since it was first announced, so this was a big step forward for me. So let me know what you thought of this week's offerings in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It really does help out. Thanks very much. Once again, thanks for watching, happy hobbying, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.